So today, I just kind of wanted to do something quick, something easy, simple. I got some time. I was going to work on this. You know, it's not a huge project to me right now, but it's one that I want to do in the summer. I have some plans. This is just the two-wheel drive slash. I have some plans to do some videos. You know, I have one that's going to be like a beginner video for getting into RCs and all that, and hopefully that'll come out in the summer sometime. But if you're interested, subscribe. You know, it's going up slowly, but hey, this is really fun for me. So if you're interested in it, I have some plans with this two-wheel drive slash. It's a good old, just plain Jane, nothing crazy. I mean, there's some stuff done to it. It has a VXL3, which is just 3S version. This is upgraded. It used to not be the brushless version. Like, it is literally the plain Jane Traxxas slash two-wheel drive. But it has some upgrades here and there, and just over the years. I mean, this thing is, I don't know. I'm guessing I got it in 2013. Like, it's almost ancient at this point. So, but I mean, it's really fun, and I had some leftover braid. Actually, I have a lot of leftover braid. This stuff's not too expensive. $10 on Amazon for like 25 feet. So I did have my recent project, which was the X-Max. I put the Hobby Wing ESC Max 5 and the 1100 kV, and I braided everything. I braided, you know, the ESC, I braided the lights, I braided the new fans. Everything is braided in this now, and it just makes it look so much better, and it's more protected, right? So if you roll over and your body comes off and you scratch the wires, whatever, like, these are protected. They're easy to replace. You know, it just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of finesse, but really it's not that bad. So highly recommend doing this. But I've noticed when I was trying to research for doing this one, there's not a lot of videos of people actually doing this. You know, there's a $1 million X-Max project. I forget who did that, but he put so many parts into the car. And when it gets to the electronics, he goes, okay, it's in, and he doesn't show you what size, anything. He doesn't show you anything about the cables. So I was like, I'm going to do it on the slash anyways, and I might as well just show you. So I'm using 1/8 inch braid. This is 1/8 inch. I have 3/8. I have a whole bunch, but I'm using 12 gauge wire right now. You can usually tell, it'll actually say it. So 12G, 12 gauge wire, or GA, 10 GA, 8 GA, whatever. That's the gauge of the wire. There's amazing videos online. It's usually about speaker wires that show you what the actual braiding looks like on the wire, what sizes to use, what heat shrink to use. But all I'm going to be using today on this 12 gauge wire is 1/8 inch, sorry, 1/8 inch braid. And I believe this is 3/8 heat shrink. So you really don't need a lot. You know, Canadian Tire, I'm in Canada. Canadian Tire, $5 for 10 pieces of 3/8. I usually cut them in half, so 20 pieces. And then $10, $12, whatever, for 25 feet of whichever size braid you need. So obviously, you will need a heat source. This is from the dollar store. You know, this is $1.25, and it's a torch lighter. So you get a long, consistent flame that's not flapping all over the place like a regular lighter. It's a torch lighter. I find these work really, really well. You just got to be careful that you don't burn the braid, because this will open up if you burn it. So to start off, I'm going to show you right away here. These are just plastic cutting for like bodies and stuff. Any scissors will work. Usually it's actually recommended to use like a hot knife. So guys in the automotive industry, they'll use a hot knife and they'll rest it on it and it cuts it, but I'll show you a way to get around that. So I'm going to cut this and show you real quick. Just a simple cut, but now you'll notice that this stuff opens up. When it opens up, it frays like crazy. You don't want that. That really sucks to deal with and handle. I'm going to get rid of all of that fraying that I did. I'm going to take the lighter, and I'm just going to burn it the tiniest amount. Just burn the ends. That's it. And I mean, this stuff isn't hot. You can touch it right away. But now when you try and open it up, it's not going to fray out as much. So that is a key tip there. And so when you're doing this, I find it's easier. I usually go just a little bit off, because you don't want to go all the way to the end, because your heat shrink will wrap it to the very end. You don't have to worry about that. So you want to get your cut. I'm going to go just below the yellow. I'm going to go where that 12G is. So right there, I'm going to make another cut. And that is going to be one line. Now obviously I have 3 lines. I'm only going to do 1 line in this video because it's all very, very repetitive once you do the first one. But I'm going to cut 3 because I know that once this video is done, I will be making 3 of these. So I'm just going to get them all out of the way. They don't have to be perfect, right? You're cutting it short anyways. But, so now I have the other 2 that are already sized and everything for the other wires. So, again, just like how this end is already cinched up and it's closed and it's heated, it's not going to fray. I'm going to do it to the other side. Same thing. I'm going to kind of close it with my fingers. If you have to, stick your scissors in there and kind of open it up just so it's a little bit easier. If you close it too much by accident, or just chop it off, whatever. So for this one wire, I got the length already. I have it good. I got to open this end up because I smushed it too much. See, I smushed it too much. So I'm going to cut the smallest bit off, and I'm going to melt it again. Just like that. Doesn't have to be a lot, just so it melts the end so it doesn't open up. To slide it on, all you got to do is get it in. I like to hold the very end and push it so it opens up like a snake, I always think about. And you basically just let go and it's like a big spring. It just bounces into spot and it's good. I might have actually made this one a bit too short, but I mean, for what I'm doing, it's fine. Yeah, I definitely did make it too short. Oops. Whatever. Our heat shrink will cover that if we make it long. I made it way too short, actually. What did I do there? Huh. Okay, well, I cut that one too short. To get it off, this is a good example because sometimes you mess up. Getting it off is kind of a pain, but I like to open it up on the end and then you can slide it out. A lot of people will try and pull it, and it's super hard to get out, especially if it's long on the cord. Super hard to get out. So when you try and pull it, it's like a Chinese finger trap, and then it like makes it, yeah, like right there, it makes it harder to get out. But if you just pull it from either side, it's a lot easier. So now that we got the mess up out of the way, hopefully we don't do that again. Hopefully this one is a little bit better, but you can kind of see how quick this stuff goes once you have more of an idea of how it's going to, right? Like, yeah, you gotta slide it on. Now remember, I actually think I know why I messed this up, is because this stuff expands and it opens up, right? So for what I'm doing, it's going to be fine. I left probably too much space, so I'd probably add a little bit, but for this, it's fine because the heat shrink, even if I cut it halfway, it'll be fine. It won't cover the yellow because I need to see the yellow for my connector. So I'll cut this guy halfway, slide it on, make sure that every single one of those little wire braids go in, and boom. See, it's clean. I cut it a little bit too short, but that's the beauty of the heat shrink. It just makes it look good. So you don't want to hold it too close. That is another thing that I find a lot of people do, especially with a torch, is that if you hold it too close to the braid, you can melt the braid and then it will look bad. So you just want to hold it a little further away. You know, do one side at a time. Just small increments. Come back. let it rest, come back, let it rest, come back, let it rest. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. I'll finish off the other side. I'll get this on. Another thing I like to do, just with these end pieces, where you have to slide it on, because if you noticed, if you've seen, if my camera quality is good enough, some of those pieces are now stuck the other way. So I slide it down past where I cut it, and then I slide it back, just so I know all of the pieces are facing up and there's no problem with any of them facing back down. And then again, repeat the process. I mean, this stuff isn't that hard. It's just finding the right lengths, or not the right length, the right sizes. That is really it. And then bang. Once you're done, let it cool off, and there you go. Looks a lot better, in my opinion, than something like this. You know, just looks a lot better, a lot cleaner, and it's protected now, right? So again, it's an easy thing to do. There's a little bit of finesse in it, but I'm gonna get this whole car done, do up all these little ribbon cables, fix this mess that I did 10 years ago or whatever, and then you know, it'll be looking, eventually it'll look like this guy here with all of the nice sleeves. You can do the red for the positive and all of that. You can do different colors. You can do blue and black and red and whatever different colors. I know the guy with the $1 million X-Max, he did green. I mean, it looks good, but I just wish that he did kind of a tutorial on what sizes that he did. But if you're doing any small wires, usually an 1/8 to 1/4, that'll fit. Anything bigger, these are 1/8 gauge. These are 3/8 sleeves. 3/8 sleeves on 3/8 heat shrink to 1/2 inch heat shrink. But again, there is so many videos out there, and two really, really good ones that I know about car audio. You know, search braiding sizes, cable braided sizes, and he goes through the whole thing. He puts it in 1/8 gauge, 6th, 10th, 12th, 16th, you know, all the different gauges of wire, and he'll show you what these all look like, because, you know, as you can see, sometimes when it expands, you can see kind of through it. But I'll show you on the X-Max here. You can kind of see the red. So this 3/8 inch is a little bit big for it, but on the black it looks fine, right? With the red, you can see it because it's a little bit too big. But I mean, your cables are protected, and the stuff looks way better than just stock. You know, it gives you a little bit of reassurance, and it's easy to do. So I hope if you do this, it goes good. And if you like the video, give it a like, you know, comment, subscribe, show me what you've done before, send me an email, do whatever you got to do. But you know, this YouTube thing is kind of a side hobby to the RC hobby with the infraction and the Slash and the X-Max and the Revos I got and the whole other list of cars that I have. It's kind of just a side hobby, so it's something fun to do. So if you enjoyed it, let me know. But yeah, thank you for watching anyways. So just to show you guys when it's all finished, everything is braided except these. I don't want to take the connectors off. Not a big deal. But yeah, looks a lot better, a lot cleaner, a lot more durable. Yeah, it's nice, quick, and easy. I mean, in total, this took me maybe an hour with making the video too. It's not that bad. I mean, it looks so much better. So much better. Definitely worth it.